Welcome to Stoic Minds, where we explore the timeless wisdom of the Stoics and teach you how to master yourself, rise above distraction, and live a life of purpose. And power. Today, we'll dive into a lesson that many fail to grasp. When someone makes the wrong choice, their regret will eventually do the work that words and persuasion cannot. In life, people come and go. Some choices lift us, while others teach us lessons through absence and consequence. The true path of strength is not in chasing, pleading, or reacting. It is in detachment and allowing life to teach lessons in its own time. In this video, we'll explore how to let regret work silently on those who chose wrongly, and why your calm dignity and inner mastery are far more powerful than any attempt to force recognition. If you are ready to embrace the Stoic mindset, to rise above emotional chaos, and to learn the art of letting life do the teaching, then stay with us, because this lesson will transform the way you perceive loss, absence, and human behavior. Choices define lives. Every human being walks a path shaped by decisions, some deliberate, some impulsive, some clouded by desire or ignorance. When someone chooses wrongly, it is a reflection of their judgment, not a measure of your worth. Their errors, their missteps, and their inability to see clearly are theirs to bear. You are not responsible for correcting their perception or pleading for your value. Stoicism teaches that our peace is found in mastery over ourselves, not in the validation of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed." In this spirit, when someone makes the wrong choice, your power lies in restraint, in silence, and in letting life itself teach them the consequences. Do not chase, do not explain, do not justify. Each of these actions diminishes your presence and interrupts the natural flow of cause and effect. Let absence be your ally. Let their decisions become the teacher of their own regret. They may not realize what they lost immediately. It could take days, weeks, or months, but when it finally dawns on them, it will be deeper, stronger, and more lasting than anything you could have forced with words. This is the quiet, steady work of Stoic mastery, creating space for reality to act while you remain composed, dignified, and independent. Regret, left to grow naturally, will do what arguments cannot, and when they finally return, it will not be because you begged for recognition. It will be because they have confronted the truth of their choice, and by then, you will have already become someone greater, stronger, and unshakable. Every action reveals priorities. When someone makes a wrong choice, it is not a reflection of your inadequacy. It is a reflection of their inner state, their fears, or their short-sightedness. People act according to their perception of value, often clouded by impulse or temporary desires. Marcus Aurelius said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This principle applies to human decisions. Their choice is shaped by their perspective, not by your objective worth. Recognizing this distinction liberates you from resentment and bitterness. Do not internalize their errors. Do not convince yourself that their failure is a judgment of your character. Detach from their perspective. Observe it, understand it, accept it. Their misstep is a reflection of their path, not yours. Stoicism teaches that clarity comes from understanding what is within your control and what is not. You cannot control their choices. You cannot rewrite their past decisions. What you can control is your reaction, your emotions, and your focus. When you place your energy in mastering yourself, rather than attempting to correct them, you align with the true path of strength. That let their error stand. Let them feel the weight of what they chose wrongly. Your calm observation, free from the need to intervene, will eventually communicate the truth more effectively than confrontation ever could. Attachment is a subtle prison. When we tie our peace to the behavior, decisions, or validation of others, we surrender control over our emotions. Stoicism teaches that freedom lies in detachment, not indifference, but deliberate dependence. But then someone chooses wrongly, detachment becomes your strongest weapon. Do not follow them, plead with them, or attempt to justify yourself. These behaviors compromise your power and diminish your serenity. True strength lies in remaining composed while the consequences of their actions unfold naturally. Detach with intention. This is not avoidance, it is strategic restraint. By stepping back, you create space for them to confront reality, to feel the absence of what they discarded. Humans often fail to appreciate value until it is lost. Absence amplifies awareness. Seneca wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, No wind is favorable. They may drift blindly, but your calm detachment becomes the still point in the storm, a presence they no longer have, and whose absence they cannot ignore. Detachment is not about coldness or cruelty. It is about It is about recognizing that your energy is too valuable to waste on chasing those who cannot yet appreciate it. It is about letting life teach lessons in its own time, without interference. The more you detach, the stronger you become. The more they feel your absence, the more they are forced to confront the consequences of their choice. In detachment lies your silent power, the power to let regret do what words cannot. B1. Your focus should always be on your own life, your own growth, and your own actions, not on trying to prove yourself to those who fail to recognize your value. Absence communicates power more effectively than words. When you withdraw from someone who made the wrong choice, you create a silent yet undeniable statement. I know my worth, and I will not diminish it for anyone. This forces them to confront their mistakes. They begin to notice your absence, feel it, and slowly understand what they lost. By valuing your own presence, you establish boundaries. Boundaries are not restrictions. They are statements of self. They ensure that you remain in control of your emotional state, refusing to allow others' mistakes to dictate your feelings. Your calm, dignified stance demonstrates strength that cannot be ignored. Ultimately, those who choose wrongly will face the emptiness they created. Your presence, carefully guarded, becomes a mirror that reflects their loss back to them. In valuing yourself above their opinions or actions, you not only preserve your serenity, but also amplify the inevitable power of their regret. Regret is the natural teacher of human missteps. No words, no pleas, no explanations can replace the lesson that comes from realizing a mistake. By allowing someone to experience their own choices, you step into the role of a silent observer rather than a meddler. Epictetus wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Their wrong choice is not your burden. Your reaction is what defines you. By remaining composed, you allow life itself to instruct them. Regret grows quietly, forming in sleepless nights, restless thoughts, and the hollow ache of absence. Your restraint amplifies this effect. Every time you resist the urge to intervene, you reinforce the lesson. Their discomfort, born of losing something valuable, becomes their own teacher. The pain of regret is personal, intimate, and unforgettable. No external pressure can replicate this transformation. Remember, regret is not revenge. It is a natural consequence of choice. By stepping back, you empower life to do what persuasion cannot. You maintain your integrity, your peace, and your strength while allowing the universe to guide them toward understanding. When they finally recognize their mistake, it will be profound. Their desire to return, their longing to recover what was lost, will be rooted in authentic insight rather than external coercion. In this way, life becomes both the teacher and the amplifier of wisdom. 6. Control. Your emotion is the battlefield of the mind. When someone chooses wrongly, the instinctive response is often anger, frustration, or sadness. But Stoicism teaches that external events cannot control you, only your reaction can. Anger diminishes strength. Pleading diminishes dignity. Worry diminishes peace. By mastering your emotions, you remain untouched by others' errors. This mastery is both liberating and powerful. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you maintain composure, the contrast between your calm and their unrest becomes stark. They begin to feel the weight of their choice, intensified by your unwavering serenity. Your silence, coupled with emotional mastery, becomes a force far stronger than any confrontation. By controlling your emotions, you demonstrate resilience and self-mastery. You show that your value does not fluctuate based on the whims of others. This emotional stability magnifies their awareness of what they lost, making their eventual regret inevitable and meaningful. True Stoic strength lies in maintaining equilibrium. Let their mistakes play out. Let them wrestle with the consequences. Your inner calm, steady and unyielding, remains the greatest instrument for their realization. Absence is one of the most powerful tools in life. When someone chooses wrongly, your withdrawal is not a punishment. It is an opportunity for them to confront reality. Humans often fail to appreciate what they have until it is gone. By stepping back, you create a silent force that encourages reflection, longing, and awareness. Stoicism teaches that our power lies in mastery over self, not in controlling others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth by which no one was ever truly harmed. Similarly, when they leave or act wrongly, your responsibility is not to follow or correct them, but to maintain your presence in your own life with dignity. Embrace absence as a teacher. Each day they feel your absence is a day they must confront their own choices. You are not denying them anything, they have already chosen it themselves. Your absence simply reflects the natural consequence of their decision. Absence also preserves your energy. You are not draining yourself by chasing someone who cannot yet recognize your value. Instead, you focus on yourself, your growth, your calm, your development. Wildlife gradually teaches them the lesson that words cannot. Remember, absence is not passive. It is deliberate, strategic, and deeply empowering. By withdrawing, you allow them the space to realize what they lost, while you remain steady, serene, and unshakable. Their regret will be deeper because it is born of reflection, not argument. Patience is the Stoic's ally. Instant realization rarely occurs in human hearts. Those who make the wrong choice may take days, months, or even years to understand the weight of their actions. By giving time its due, you allow consequences to settle naturally. Seneca wrote, "Time discovers truth." Allow this principle to guide your response. Do not interfere, do not rush, do not plead. The lesson is most effective when it is self-regret. When it comes naturally, leaves a mark far stronger than anything you could impose through explanation or argument. Time also strengthens your own resilience. As you wait, you cultivate patience, clarity, and detachment. You learn to stand independently of external validation, anchored in your inner strength. This reinforces the Stoic principle that your power lies in mastery over self, not control over others. Allowing time to work does not mean passivity. It is an active engagement with life's natural order. Your focus remains on your growth, your discipline, and your serenity. Meanwhile, they face the consequences of their actions in a way that ensures genuine reflection and understanding. Patience amplifies the inevitability of regret. As time passes, absence, longing, and reflection combine to make realization unavoidable, and when it finally arrives, it will be authentic, meaningful, and profound, far beyond what any plea or argument could achieve. While they wrestle with regret, your task is to rise. Focus on personal development, your mind, your character, your discipline, and your emotional mastery. This is the essence of Stoicism, cultivating the self rather than seeking validation from others. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." By concentrating on your growth, you reinforce your value and amplify the inevitability of their regret. Your life becomes a silent lesson in excellence and self-mastery, a living example they cannot ignore. Reflection also fosters humility and clarity. You observe the consequences of their choices without resentment or judgment. This allows you to remain emotionally independent, avoiding the trap of seeking approval or reconciliation. Your focus is internal, not external. When you prioritize your own growth, you elevate your presence. They may come to regret their choice, but by then, you will have become someone stronger, wiser, and unshakable. Your development ensures that any return or recognition is met with dignity, not desperation. In the Stoic worldview, personal growth is the ultimate priority. The world will continue to make mistakes, but your advancement, composure, and wisdom remain absolute. While they learn their lesson, you live yours fully, unbothered by the past and untethered by their choices. It is a common temptation to try to prove yourself, to show that you are right, valuable, or deserving of recognition. Stoicism teaches the futility of this approach. Your worth is intrinsic. It does not need external validation. Attempting to prove yourself only diminishes your power and integrity. When someone chooses wrongly, do not chase them with explanations, arguments, or justifications. Each attempt to reclaim attention transfers control to them and disrupts the natural consequences of their decision. Your calm, measured distance is far more instructive than any words. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Similarly, you must demonstrate value through your actions, presence, and serenity, not through persuasion. Your life, lived with mastery, speaks louder than any defense or explanation. Avoiding the urge to prove your worth protects your peace. It ensures that your energy remains focused on growth, discipline, and serenity. It also allows regret to manifest naturally, undisturbed by external interference. When they eventually see the reality of their choice, it will be undeniable, authentic, and permanent. By refraining from proving yourself, you maintain control over your emotions and circumstances. You allow life and absence to act as teachers, leaving them to confront the consequences of their choices fully. In this restraint lies your power, the silent, unshakable authority of mastery over self. Human nature is most instructive when left alone. When someone has made the wrong choice, your role is that of a calm observer, not an active participant. Observation allows you to understand patterns, anticipate behavior, and witness the natural unfolding of consequences without becoming entangled emotionally. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." By observing rather than intervening, you detach from imagined scenarios and remain grounded in reality. You see the truth of their actions, uncolored by emotion or desire for correction. Intervening prematurely diminishes the lesson. Your explanations, please, or justifications may temporarily soothe, but they rarely provoke lasting reflection. True understanding comes when one confronts the consequences alone. Life unmediated becomes the teacher. Observation also cultivates your own clarity and patience. As you watch, without attachment, you refine your capacity for discernment and self-mastery. You learn to separate what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and emotions, from what is not, the choices of others. By choosing to observe silently, you maintain dignity, authority, and composure. Their mistakes remain theirs, and your peace remains intact. The contrast between their unrest and your calm will silently emphasize the gravity of their decision, enhancing the inevitability and depth of their regret. Indifference, in Stoic thought, is not apathy. It is deliberate emotional neutrality, an understanding that others' actions cannot dictate your inner state. When someone chooses wrongly, your calm indifference communicates more powerfully than confrontation or argument ever could. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly." By refusing to allow their choices to disturb your equilibrium, you create a quiet yet formidable influence. They begin to sense the void created by their decision, the absence of what they once took for granted. Indifference amplifies the effect of absence. It is a demonstration of inner strength, a refusal to compromise your serenity for someone else's reckoning. You show that your value is constant, unshaken by their errors, and unattached to external validation. By maintaining indifference, you avoid the emotional traps of resentment, anger, and desperation. You position yourself as someone beyond manipulation, someone who cannot be unsettled by another's fleeting choices. This forces them to confront their misjudgment more profoundly, often triggering regret stronger than any plea could create. Indifference, combined with silence and detachment, becomes a silent teacher. It conveys that their loss is their lesson, not a punishment imposed by you. Their eventual recognition of this absence will be authentic, born from reflection rather than compulsion. Your inner peace is the foundation of your strength. While they wrestle with the consequences of their wrong choices, you cultivate serenity, composure, and resilience. Stoicism teaches that no external event can disturb the mind unless you permit it. Epictetus reminds us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By focusing on inner tranquility, you ensure that their mistakes cannot create chaos within you. Your calm becomes a testament to mastery over self, demonstrating the contrast between your stability and their unrest. Inner peace allows you to act with clarity rather than impulse. You do not retaliate, chase, or plead. You remain aligned with your principles, detached from external validation, and anchored in self-respect. This state magnifies the effect of their regret. When they confront the consequences of their decision, they feel the absence of your composed presence. They notice the calm that you embody, the dignity that remains unshaken, and the life you continue to lead unaffected by their errors. Your inner peace silently communicates value, presence, and strength, far more than any argument or explanation. By prioritizing serenity over reaction, you protect yourself while allowing life to teach its lessons. The more untouchable you become, the more regretful they feel. This is the Stoic mastery of influence, through restraint, presence, and unshakable composure. Perspective is everything. When someone acts wrongly, viewing their choice objectively prevents emotional turmoil and fosters wisdom. Stoicism teaches that understanding the motives, limitations, and perspectives of others brings clarity, not resentment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" By reflecting objectively, you see that their mistakes are natural human behavior, not personal attacks. Objectivity allows you to separate your emotions from reality. You observe their decision, its consequences, and its impact without internalizing blame or cultivating bitterness. This clarity strengthens your self-mastery and prevents unnecessary distraction. When you view their choices dispassionately, the inevitability of regret becomes clear. You understand that life, not forceful persuasion, will teach them the lesson. They acted according to their desires, impulses, or fears, and now they must face the consequences. By maintaining objectivity, you reinforce emotional independence. You do not react from pain or longing. You act from understanding. This detachment enhances your dignity, strengthens your influence through example, and ensures that their regret, when it comes, is deep, personal, and authentic. Life is the ultimate teacher. Stoicism teaches that experiences, not words, provide the deepest lessons. When someone chooses wrongly, do not intervene. Allow life itself to instruct. Their regrets, their longing, and their sleepless reflections will teach them more than any argument could. Seneca wrote, "Fate leads the willing and drags along the unwilling." When they face the consequences of their choice, the lesson becomes inevitable. Your restraint is a vehicle for this natural teaching process. By not interfering, you allow them to confront reality fully, without dilution. Let life speak through their absence, through the emptiness they created, and through the moments when they feel the void of your presence. This experiential learning is profound and lasting, far beyond anything words or explanations could achieve. By trusting life, you maintain your own calm. You focus on growth, wisdom, and self-mastery, while allowing the universe to orchestrate the consequences. This alignment with natural order reinforces Stoic principles. Control yourself, accept what you cannot, and trust that life will reveal truth. The moment they recognize the gravity of their actions, they will understand. Their desire to return will be genuine, rooted in realization, not external pressure. You remain serene, dignified, and untouched, an embodiment of Stoic mastery. True strength is demonstrated through restraint, not confrontation. When someone chooses wrongly, your instinct may be to react, anger, explanation, or pleading. Stoicism teaches that non-reaction is the highest form of power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it." By choosing silence and non-reaction, you avoid unnecessary emotional turmoil. Your calm becomes a mirror reflecting the impact of their choice back to them. Non-reaction communicates dignity and mastery. They begin to feel the consequences of their actions without interference, creating an authentic realization of loss. This lesson, unforced and natural, becomes far more impactful than any argument. Non-reaction also preserves your energy. You no longer expend emotional currency on someone who failed to recognize your value. Instead, you channel focus toward growth, discipline, and personal mastery. Your calm, measured stance is a form of silent authority they cannot ignore. In essence, strength through non-reaction is the art of letting life teach. It is the combination of patience, detachment, and dignity that ensures regret becomes inevitable and profound. The natural consequence of wrong choices is regret, but it is intensified when they see your composure, independence, and progress. Stoicism teaches that absence and self-mastery amplify the lessons of life far beyond what words can do. Seneca said, "No man was ever wise by chance." When they fail to recognize your value, their learning will be gradual, painful, and self-driven. Observing you thrive, unaffected by their choices, deepens the impact of their regret. This amplification is not intentional cruelty. It is a result of maintaining integrity, focus, and dignity. By living fully and calmly, you create a contrast that highlights the loss they have incurred. The depth of their regret is proportional to the strength of your presence, patience, and mastery. Regret becomes unavoidable when paired with your unwavering life. Their realization will not be fleeting. It will be permanent, rooted in the tangible absence of what they once undervalued. Some may return, others may not. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control outcomes, only your actions. By focusing on your growth, you guarantee progress regardless of external recognition. Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Your growth, composure, and mastery are within your control. Their return is external, uncertain, and should not dictate your peace. By accepting this, you cultivate resilience. You rise above the need for validation, finding strength in the lesson of absence, regret, and consequence is theirs. Your evolution is yours. When they return, it is a byproduct of their understanding, not your effort. Whether they return or not, your mastery of self remains intact, unshaken, and absolute. Wisdom is the compass of the Stoic life. Every decision, every moment of restraint, and every act of calm must be guided by reason rather than emotion. Allow wisdom to inform your response or non-response to those who made the wrong choice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Your restraint, guided by wisdom, ensures that your energy is preserved, your dignity remains, and their learning is unhindered by your interference. Wisdom teaches patience, reflection, and clarity. It allows you to stand apart from chaos, observing consequences without attachment, and acting only when it serves purpose rather than impulse. Your life becomes an exemplar, silent, enduring lesson of mastery and resilience. Ultimately, the greatest triumph lies within. The Stoic path is about self-mastery, not the approval or recognition of others. Those who chose wrongly will face consequences, regret, and reflection. You, however, have achieved serenity, strength, and dignity. Seneca reminds us, he is most powerful who has power over himself. This power cannot be taken, diminished, or disputed. It is eternal, unwavering, and self-sufficient. By mastering your emotions, actions, and presence, you become untouchable, unaffected, and profoundly influential. When they realize the depth of their error, your composure will speak louder than words ever could. Your absence, your growth, and your self-mastery ensure that their regret is genuine and lasting. And even if they never return, you remain whole, strong, and complete. True victory is not in forcing recognition, it is in achieving mastery over yourself, letting life teach others, and remaining unshakable in the face of human error. That is the Stoic way. Thank you for watching Stoic Minds. Remember, true power lies not in chasing those who fail to value you, but in mastering yourself, your emotions, and your presence. When someone makes the wrong choice, let life, silence, and absence teach them the lesson. They will come to realize what they lost in their own time. Your task is simple. Remain calm, remain dignified, and focus on your own growth. Let regret do its work while you rise above, unaffected, serene, and unshakable. That is the essence of the Stoic way. If you found value in today's lesson, like, share, and subscribe for more insights from Stoicism that help you conquer fear, embrace detachment, and live a life of true inner strength. Remember, mastery of self is the ultimate victory, and everything else, including recognition, return, or reconciliation, follows naturally from it. Until next time, stay calm, stay strong, and stay stoic. When they return, it is a byproduct of their understanding, not your effort. Whether they return or not, your mastery of self remains intact, unshaken, and absolute. Wisdom is the compass of the Stoic life. Every decision, every moment of restraint, and every act of calm must be guided by reason rather than emotion. Allow wisdom to inform your response or non-response to those who made the wrong choice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Your restraint, guided by wisdom, ensures that your energy is preserved, your dignity remains, and their learning is unhindered by your interference. Wisdom teaches patience, reflection, and clarity. It allows you to stand apart from chaos, observing consequences without attachment, and acting only when it serves purpose rather than impulse. Your life becomes an exemplar, silent, enduring lesson of mastery and resilience. Ultimately, the greatest triumph lies within. The Stoic path is about self-mastery, not the approval or recognition of others. Those who chose wrongly will face consequences, regret, and reflection. You, however, have achieved serenity, strength, and dignity. Seneca reminds us, he is most powerful who has power over himself. This power cannot be taken, diminished, or disputed. It is eternal, unwavering, and self-sufficient. By mastering your emotions, actions, and presence, you become untouchable, unaffected, and profoundly influential. When they realize the depth of their error, your composure will speak louder than words ever could. Your absence, your growth, and your self-mastery ensure that their regret is genuine and lasting. And even if they never return, you remain whole, strong, and complete. True victory is not in forcing recognition, it is in achieving mastery over yourself, letting life teach others, and remaining unshakable in the face of human error. That is the Stoic way. Thank you for watching Stoic Minds. Remember, true power lies not in chasing those who fail to value you, but in mastering yourself, your emotions, and your presence. When someone makes the wrong choice, let life, silence, and absence teach them the lesson. They will come to realize what they lost in their own time. Your task is simple. Remain calm, remain dignified, and focus on your own growth. Let regret do its work while you rise above, unaffected, serene, and unshakable. That is the essence of the Stoic way. If you found value in today's lesson, like, share, and subscribe for more insights from Stoicism that help you conquer fear, embrace detachment, and live a life of true inner strength. Remember, mastery of self is the ultimate victory, and everything else, including recognition, return, or reconciliation, follows naturally from it. Until next time, stay calm, stay strong, and stay stoic.